Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. It is me, your boy Rico No Suave. Yes, I am back, everybody, for another great episode number 6. Yes, episode number 6. And I am so glad, mi gente. I am so glad to be back with each and every one of you guys, ready to have a great time as far as with me here on the Heart of Hollywood magazine interview series. Yes. Hey, don't forget to actually follow us on Facebook. If you're actually on YouTube checking in, follow us on Facebook at Heart of Hollywood Magazine. If you're on Facebook and you want to go to be a YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. It is Heart of Hollywood Media. But let me tell you guys, as you know, the people that's just coming in, we are about inspirational for influencers, music entertainment. It's all about if you are an actress, if you're a model, and you like to walk down that runway and just look beautiful. I try to show my pearly whites. Yes. So we're all about introducing everyone to the world in the entertainment industry, everybody. But without further ado, everyone, I have to introduce this beautiful, strong Latina. Yes, she is with us today. She has been in the entertainment industry from a design and production for 20 years when she moved here from LA. She is the founder, the owner, the strong owner of Monarch Strategic Alliances, LLC. We're going to talk about her journey, and I want you guys to ask questions. I want you guys to comment because I want you guys to stand up. All of my beautiful ladies, put your hands in the air, blow her a kiss. Gentlemen, if you want to. We have none other than Karla Silva. Let's go. Let me bring her in here. Let me bring her in. Hold on. Let me see. I think I got her. There she is. Hi, Karla.
Hello. Thank you very much for the invitation, Rico. It's great to be here. I've been a fan of Hollywood, Heart of Hollywood magazine, and the
Yeah.
platform that you have created to, highlight the work of, people in the entertainment and, in LA.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do got a big shout out to Giovanna Salas. You know, she's the one that actually brought me in, and she is the director, and she's just rocking it out for the Heart of Hollywood magazine as well. So thank you so much for joining us here. And I'm ready to hear about you because all of the accomplishments, Mama, all of the accomplishments you have made, but we have to start off. So tell us about when you actually moved to LA and you started your design and production company. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I was born in Mexico City, and after I finished my major in communications,
Okay.
I came to study ESL here in Los Angeles,
Okay.
and that's when opportunities open, and I start working for the music industry, doing CD packaging design, design work and the production for the design of the CDs and album covers, right?
Yeah.
Now my kids, they say, what do you mean, mom? You used to pay for music? You need to buy music? Like before you need to actually have something tangible. And like, well, yeah, technology has done, wonders in music and, just entertainment in general. But I come from that time where, yes, we used to do the design work, and I
Uh-huh.
work with the major record labels,
Okay.
particularly with the Latin departments,
Yes.
doing a lot of the regional Mexican, singers and
Yeah.
bands. So I did
Yeah.
that for, quite few, years,
Okay.
until music changed and, technology took over.
Uh-huh.
And at that time it was, even though we transitioned into the digital from the analog and doing the like the negatives and the color proofs to be sent to
Yeah.
printers,
Uh-huh.
we transitioned into the digital. But it was just 2008. It was recession,
Yes.
and it was just hard to compete with a market where you can work from your laptop pretty much from your house,
Yes.
competing in, having, a brick and mortar and employees, and having to pay, the insurances, and it was just too much overhead to compete to somebody working from home.
Yes.
And at that time, it was, after more than 15 years doing the CD packaging design,
Wow.
that you just feel, it's maybe a time to do to transition into something else,
Yeah.
being that it was very competitive, and again that we were competing with people, working from home.
So I got a question for you, Mama. I got a question for you. So Karla Silva is this design production, and I got people that maybe work for me. But I'm more intrigued because I love music, of course. I love all
Uh-huh.
types of music. When you were designing, as far as the CDs,
Yeah.
or you was with the record label, what was the artist that you were actually designing labels for?
Wow. Well, we work with many record companies, with Sony, Latin, Universal, Latin,
Yes.
EMI, Latin,
Yeah.
Fonovisa. So imagine over 15 years of doing CD covers like every day.
Uh-huh.
Some of the names: Marco Antonio Solis,
Yeah.
Jenny Rivera. We
Yes.
actually did a
So,
beautiful package for Selena after her passing.
mm,
Um,
rest in peace.
one of
Yeah.
the ones that is like maybe the favorite in terms of the experience and the learning, and
Yes.
I guess mostly the learning from to see that process. It was working with Andy Garcia in actually there were three albums for, he has a record label, he had a record label called Cineson,
Uh-huh.
and he did an album for Cachao. And
Acachao.
oh my
Yeah.
God, and it was just
Yes.
amazing. It was one of the best for me release parties. It was done at the cathedral close to USC. It's a beautiful church,
Okay.
and the acoustic there. It was just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
That's amazing because Andy Garcia Cubano también,
Yeah, exactly.
and I really love Andy Garcia, and it's so crazy in regards to when he made the movie Lost City.
Uh-huh.
He made the movie Lost City, and of course it was, of course, certain pieces of there, talking a little bit about Cuba and going back and forth, but you know to be able to work with Andy Garcia,
Yeah.
I always think about Ocean's 11 when I think about, and besides Lost City and other things that he actually has been in, I always think about his style, his movements. Now, in regards to the covers and the design, did you design them yourself, or did you have a designer and you put them in production?
So I did many CD covers, throughout the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we also had a team,
Okay.
a design team, because we were
Okay.
doing not only the design but the production. Having a
Yeah.
machine to send the artwork to be turned into negatives, and then
Yes.
you had to do the color proof, and
Yes.
then send that to the East Coast where they had really like the big printers, and
Yeah.
contact with those printers. So I remember chasing the FedEx truck every day. Like, oh my God, we are not going to make it to that corner. No, we have to go to the other. Oh, like all the way to LAX. But,
Oh
there
my
was
God.
no, if our, no, the artwork had to go, because
Yes.
the production was waiting for that. And if you
Yes.
miss that, you lost the client.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
never lost a client. So it was just like running, please, please hurry up. But they would always ask for like a last, minute change, and it was always the same. So
Yeah.
you learn to live with that adrenaline. But
Yes.
after, when it started really getting complicated, because the last years, instead of being able to to bump the prices a little, we had to
Sure.
reduce them. So
Right.
it's like, okay, we have to go the other way around. The rents are
Right.
going up, salaries, and it was just because the industry itself was changing a lot of the piracy,
Yeah.
and just at this point in time, when the digital and the social media platforms has taken over, some artists feel they don't need the record label to represent them. They can do pretty much
Mm.
everything themselves.
Sure.
So because
Sure.
before it was the distribution was important, and that representation, so it changed. And
Sure.
because of that, the budgets were very tight.
Okay.
And after a while, it was kind of time for a change. And again, it
Yeah.
was during that recession, so everything was hard. A lot of people, in those big departments where they have multiple people taking care of like the marketing and advertisement, they start shrinking to have like only two people in charge of the whole uh Latin division. so
Yeah.
so then you feel that you are trying to grow in an industry that is kind of shrinking for that
Freaking.
period of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And it was a time to kind of you just have to be like water, and when it's time to pivot, you have to learn what is new, where is the opportunity, and
Yeah.
follow it.
Yeah. You know what I really love about that story is it takes me back to like the 80s. I don't want to show my age, but it takes you back to the 80s, it takes you back to the 90s. And of course, salsa, salsa is in my blood, right? So salsa and merengue, bachata. I like ranchero también, la banda. I love all that, man. I love all that. A Mexicano had to tell me how to dance that. I was like, okay, here in Chicago, man, we got a area called North Lake, and I had to learn that. But even when they were selling the CDs out of their cars,
Hmm.
I was, and this is where I give you kudos,
Yeah.
right? In regards to you designing, it's not easy to design because it takes a while. How long? Let's talk about Andy Garcia. I mean, since we talk about Guanos, how long did it take for you to actually have a design? Was it him that picked it out, or was it something that you had to say, hey, Andy Garcia, Papa, I got 3 designs for you. You want to take a look at it, or do you have something for me? How did that work?
Okay, actually, with that particular project, it was very different than most of them, because most of them you don't deal with the artists.
Okay.
It's the record label, and they want things to come out fast. When you deal with the artist, it can take forever, because they want a little retouch here and a little thing here, and it's
Yeah.
when you're seeing, the company needs to see production.
Yes.
So Andy, what he did, he actually, we met at the office. Like 8 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and he didn't leave until it was like everything laid out and resolved. He so professional. And I think he just came back to do to review, but every single, because that's like a multi-panel. It
Correct.
wasn't just like a cover and back. That was
Yeah.
like a little booklet,
Yeah.
and it was until we pick all the pictures, because there were multiple musicians.
Yeah.
And it's just a story about how that album, actually the music was created.
Yes.
That's why for me it's like one of the best stories, because there was a group of amazing musicians that
Sure.
went to the Capitol Records, the round,
Yep.
the circular building in
Yep.
Hollywood. They
Uh-huh.
went in with nothing written, and they came out with an album made.
Wow.
So it's just like how music is created by these masters,
Yeah.
and it's incredible, because actually there's a DVD, and
Yeah.
you can see how they just complement, with one start with ta ta ta, and the other
Yeah.
two and
Yeah.
pa pa pa, and it's like
Yeah.
suddenly there's music being created, like
Yeah.
right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
So that's why it was like so interesting to see that process. But
Yeah.
the way it was done in terms of the design, it was, he arrived and it was work all day long. Actually, I remember that lunchtime is like, okay, we gotta eat, right? And not even stopping to going to eat. No, I brought portos. Because we were in Glendale at that time. We had the studio in
Yeah.
Glendale, and it
Uh-huh.
was the design also, and we had also a big, we had a 5,000 square foot building, so we have a big a
Wow.
photo studio.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did a lot of the pictures for like bands and singers, and so we will have everything in house, because
Nice.
many of the designers, they didn't have the production, so that made
Yeah.
us very unique, because we'll have the whole design and production. And when we started, that's why they needed to have like a different department, or also the like a production,
Yeah.
because things that came from, let's say, from Latin America or Mexico,
Yeah.
they weren't always the right specs, the right size. So I guess the American studio, they didn't want to deal with that, so they will send it to us, because we will fix it. So we
Yeah.
did a lot of the production for get it
Yeah.
ready to print.
Yes. That's love.
Yeah.
I love it. That's what I love.
Yes.
And the cool thing about it, and I didn't want this to be like a Cuban special, like a Cubano special. But when you say Andy Garcia, it's
Yeah.
that's just a name, of course, that pops in my head, and I really love it, and I love it that you have the accolades of being able to work directly with him
Yeah.
in regards to that. And my last question is in regards to the design and production, when you actually finish the product, and how to be able to sell yourself with for the production itself, because people have to come to you and say, hey, Karla, oh yeah, I want a CD, I want a CD cover, I want you to do this for me. How was your marketing as far as with that company? Because it changes over time. I know.
Yeah, and do you remember what I said, that that's why I had to run to the FedEx? Once you have a client,
Yes.
you just, they tell you jump, and you just ask how high, because because the projects, they keep coming,
Yeah.
so we really had, and I guess we worked with a company, and then we were doing a good job, and then when you have that portfolio, it opens up to have other record companies working with you, again with the Latin departments. Another
Wow.
very nice account, we had Disney, but Disney
Nice.
in Espanol.
See.
So it was beautiful. I mean, we didn't do the design.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
case, we did just the production to get it ready for print. and
Yeah.
and for many years we had the same clients, but we always delivered.
That's
And
awesome.
of course we will work with people that they were like, they were coming up with their CD.
Sure.
And it was or smaller labels.
Yeah.
But we really cater for the big music companies.
Very
And
good.
that's why it was like you we were like 7-Eleven, always open and ready for if there's job, because there was always emergencies. Like,
Yeah.
emergency was the norm. It was always last minute things that, can you do it? And we never said no. So like,
That's
of
right.
course.
Right. It's la
Yeah,
plata, right? So you
yeah,
needed that. You needed that money. I mean, but at the same time, too, you loved what you did during that
yes,
time,
yeah,
and that's 20 years.
yeah.
And that's a long time to be able to do something like that. So, congratulations on that. Yes, yes, congratulations.
Thank you, thank
All
you.
right. So we got to shift gears, of course,
Yes.
because you're a beautiful lady with multiple talents, right? And the next one is you're a founder, you're the owner of Monarchs Strategic Alliances, comma LLC.
Yes.
Talk to me
Right.
about that. How did you find
So
it?
when the music, uh, changed, and we had to close, I was with no clients, because all my clients were in the music industry.
Sure.
So I was kind of forced to get new clients and look for a different niche. So I still was trying to looking for clients for for the design work, creating catalogs and magazines, all the collaterals, printed material for clients, and also logos. And we transitioned to like digital,
Sure.
social media.
Sure.
But I had to become really good at networking, because the options were like going door knocking and trying to get new clients, or just
Sure.
going to events. I
Yeah.
joined chambers of commerce,
Yeah.
where that's the idea, right? You join a chamber of commerce because the members are kind of supporting each other, and the chamber does their work in promoting you.
Sure.
So I became really good at that.
Excuse me.
I always had a that philanthropic vein, that I
Hmm.
always tend to help, like the newcomers, new businesses, non-profits, like really big in supporting new profits, especially the
Yeah.
ones that are doing great job.
Yeah.
And a lot of Latino, or
Yeah.
Mexican,
Yeah.
that they support our community here.
Yeah.
So just balancing, dedicating time to support those, and
Sure.
also building a new business.
Sure.
So in developing those relationships, through time, you see the value. And so many people say, your net worth is your network.
That's right.
And
Yes.
it takes that, delivering whenever you say you're going to do something, keep your work, over deliver, and
Yes.
be there when you're needed, and try to be a problem solver, and support it. So, being supportive at as I said, events, um, causes, because I support some different nonprofits.
Sure.
And um and and that's how right now, our Monarch Strategic Alliance was born, because those alliances, which is putting people together. You
Okay.
meet someone. Every time I meet somebody, and it's like when you play the memory game, the cards.
Yep.
Once you pick one card, you gotta look for the other one that matches, right? So my
Right.
brain is geared like that. Every time I meet
Good.
somebody, it's like, oh my God, if you meet this person, or if I always see like that potential connection, and
Connector.
an opportunity, to
Yes.
do something bigger, greater, and that benefits more people. So that's how I guess I am, how I think, how I'm built, and I believe a lot in collaboration.
Yes.
Some of the nonprofits that I support, or
Yeah.
the causes that I support, they're huge. They're very
Yeah.
ambitious, things to accomplish, and you are not going to do it by yourself. Not
Right.
one organization is going to do it by yourself. You need a village. It takes a village.
I
So,
have to.
and always somebody brings different to the table, right?
Yeah. So I want to mention that because you were saying some really great points, right? The good point about what you're starting off is that you started from being able to run to FedExes and start to giving the CDs and telling them to stop. I really need to put this on the truck versus to actually connecting people as well. Connecting your production with the design and the production. You're having a team, so you know how to work with people, right? And that was there. So when you came over to finding Monarch Strategic Alliances, LLC, the one thing about what you actually started to do was not just in the Latino community. I'm sure people on the outside of the Latino community was seeing your work and seeing how strong you would actually bringing people together. I think networking, of course, is one of the best things to be able to help you build yourself, but never sell yourself short, right? Because you worked with big companies before, but you know exactly how far you need to actually go with helping people without being taken advantage of. Now, connecting people together is kind of like, hey, Rico, hey, I know that you're a talk show host. Let me connect you with this other talk show host, or someone else that's in that business. Have you ever did kind of a fusion of you connected one person that's in one industry and versus someone outside of someone else's industry and connected them together?
Oh, yes, I have done so many connections because sometimes when you are too much into your own project,
Yes,
sometimes it's hard to see outside of that box, right? Especially like
yes,
when you've done things in a certain way, you don't
yes,
see how that can be, beneficiary to, whatever project or, whatever you're doing.
sure.
But for some reason, sometimes I see like, oh my God, either because of their personalities or because of the end goal or values of that people, that you
Yeah,
see, oh my God, they should meet, right?
yes,
And
yeah,
and of course, I introduce people like, almost every day. But there's all other introductions that are really planned, really strategic, and they
yeah,
have like a very specific end in mind. Right now, when I started, with the networking, you become really good at, doing the public relations.
that's right.
And for a while I specialized in bringing, let's say, sponsors to events or projects, because of course everybody is always looking for that sponsor, right? And
Yes,
funding. So and then the transition was more into development and working with investors, because again, the projects need funding.
yes,
And right now the focus is really in green, projects that are sustainable, that they're building more sustainable. And that's because construction creates a big impact, in the resources and the pollution.
yeah,
So the more that we build green, the
yes,
better pretty much for everyone. So thinking that you can help bring resources or partners to projects, you want them to be kind of have that same values and
sure.
being aligned. So then it's easier, because then it's easier to see that, that the way
That
energy
focus.
is going to flow and the way things can get together. So what you were saying, somebody from a different industry, or
Yes,
sometimes different countries, different,
yeah,
but it's just like, together you can do
yeah.
things better. So
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that you answered that question as if we were on Family Feud. I really like that because that was number one. The number one thing that you actually did was, and sometimes people are stuck in a way, say, hey, I'm going to this network event. Hey, you know what? Everybody that's in sales, you're gonna stamp yourself red. Everybody that's in IT, you're gonna do blue.
yes.
And all of those people just stay within their own clique, right? And I'm like, well, that's not right. Maybe it's somebody I need in sales to be able to come over and help me in IT to help sell my consultant company, right? Or to be able to get more clients, right? And I like that because it's very important that you do that from your standpoint. When did you start Monarchs?
So it's 5 years old, ago. Incorporated the company, but
Sure.
it transitioned from having my own uh, like PR design firm that I use it more as a sole proprietorship into Monarchs, into making it into an entity, and also
Sure.
all the advantages of having a separating yourself from the company. To
I see. I
Yeah. So
see.
it's
So is
five
it
years ago.
more?
5 years
So is
ago.
it? Oh, 5 years ago. Okay, good. Well, 5 years ago can feel like 10 if you're working very hard every day,
Yeah.
right?
Well, but you know what? When you do what you like,
Yep.
it's like you're never working. You get
Right.
tired, but you're still happy to do it. Again, for me, Monday, Tuesday doesn't matter.
Right. Well, it's
That,
something that you love, right?
yes,
It comes with
exactly.
Carla Silva's personality, right?
Yes.
And it says, Carla, I'm so glad that I'm actually interviewing you now because I know that I'm going to be able to connect you with someone and you might be able to connect me with someone, right? And it's good
Exactly.
that we're having this conversation, which is awesome. There's a lot of awesome people that's actually, chiming in right now that I do want to say and the director and the owner of Heart of Hollywood magazine, Giovanna Salas, says
Yes.
hello. She says she loves it. So thank you, Giovanna, for actually tuning in. Anita Lane, it says congratulations to you as well. So Anita Lane says congratulations. Melissa Martinez is just laughing at us. She just says LOL. And I think we said something funny that just makes it so beautiful.
Well, thank
Louis
you.
Mayo
And
says congratulations too. I'm sorry. Were you about to
no, no,
say?
no. That's also to say, I mean, to Giovanna, she's also, and she's unstoppable,
Yeah.
and she has done, great things with the magazine. And well, thank you everybody that is joining.
Yes, yes, yes. And Candy Elizari is actually checking in and says, love that. Working with the community as a team, help others. That's what it's all about. And
Yeah.
I was going to touch on that before and we're at like 3 more minutes until our fame is over. But, we actually, the non for profit, right? Non for profit, we're always about helping the community. And that's what I really love about it and what you're doing with helping big non-for-profit organizations. Are you also working with any smaller ones as well?
Oh, for the nonprofits are mostly small nonprofit organizations or
Okay.
foundations,
Okay.
but that they do amazing work,
Great.
and the impact is incredible. One of them is Mundo Maya Foundation,
Nice.
and it's 20 years since Sara Mijares founded the organization. And even though I'm not from Yucatan, I'm not Maya,
Yeah.
but it's Mexico, and it's the values and the areas that we focus in: education,
Yes.
community, art. Those are the promoting things that I love and that I
Yeah.
want to see preserved.
Yeah.
And when you come to the United States, coming from wherever, you bring a little bit of that country with you, right?
That's right. Of
And
course.
this Saturday, I went to the Long Beach Dia de los Muertos parade. So they've
Okay.
been
Oh
having an
yeah.
event, but now this is the first year that they have a parade.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you see how, right now our traditions are here. We don't have to go to Mexico to see, all these, you know, the culture, the
Sure.
color, the
Sure.
food. It's little by little. We've been growing this, Mexican or Latin community in LA and United States, and it's great that you can pass those traditions to your kids without having to fly and go back to Mexico.
Carla Silva, I have nothing but great things to say about you and what you have done. We're down to 60 seconds left in regards to our famous, me and you being famous right now. Okay. So, I want to thank you so much for being on the show with me today. I would love for you to actually come back in the future to actually tell me exactly what's going on. And hopefully I'll be able to meet you by me coming down to LA sometime and
Yeah,
be able
come
to,
over.
we can actually just walk the Hollywood Boulevard and just, meet celebrities and just say, hey, y'all know who we are? I just interviewed her.
Yeah, you should come. You should come to LA. Lots
Oh,
of
for
things
sure.
happening here.
Oh man, I'm definitely gonna love it. I wouldn't tell you to come to Chicago. Chicago's nice only in the summertime. Only in the
Exactly. It's
summertime.
like so cold. We got rain today, and we're all like, trying to figure out how to drive under the rain. But thank you so much for the invitation. it's been a pleasure, sharing and meeting you.
Yes.
And this is great, just giving a platform for people to share. And,
Yes.
hopefully somebody that is interested in the same
Yes.
industry, they get some ideas or, you know, some inspiration. You can always shift and learn new things. So,
That's
and
right.
for me, it's like following where the opportunities, come.
That's right. And I think that's what it's all about, being strategic, right? And being able to know exactly where you want to go. You want to go to LA, New York, Colorado, Chicago in the summertime. Come on through, and it actually works, So, but thank you so much for being on the show, Karla Silva. You've been awesome. And I shall see you soon, okay?
All right. Okay. Thank you. Bye
Take
bye.
care. Ciao. Everybody, that was none other than, you already know, my girl, Karla Silva. Yes. Thank you guys so much for being with us here on the show. It's your boy, Rico No Suave, Heart of Hollywood Magazine interview series, making it happen. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Thank you for everybody that tuned in today. Don't forget to share this video. If you're tuning in on Facebook, go to YouTube and subscribe. Heart of Hollywood Media. If you're actually on YouTube, go to Facebook. Follow them on Heart of Hollywood Magazine. That is the place to be. But once again, everybody, I'll see you guys next week. We have my man, Izzy Mandrake. He's a hypnotist in the entertainment industry. So make sure you get ready and get your, the time sand things. Yeah, we'll see how long you guys last, if you last for 30 minutes for me on that one. All right, everybody, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Dale.